Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Facebook Live. My name is Shalini Joshi Amdagni and I'm an international physical and emotional pain relief expert and the founder of magicalpainfreeliving.com. And welcome to this week's Facebook Live. And today's topic is who's in your room? Who's in your room? I hope you can see this. So the topic today is who's in your room, and I'll be sharing with you number one, who's in your room. Okay, we'll be looking at your choices and the quality of your life, and relationships as mirrors, and how to heal relationships. So it's that's what we're looking at today, and I hope hi Govind, hi Robin, welcome, so nice to have you here. I'm hanging out from my home in Bangkok, Thailand. I don't know where you are, Robin, and I know Govind is also in Bangkok, Thailand, so thank you for joining. And if you are here live, I want to welcome you. And if you are here later watching the replay, whether here on Facebook or on my YouTube channel or on Twitter, or because I share this video even on my website, welcome. So nice to have you here. If you if you can pop in and say hi, hello, so I know that you are here even if you're watching on replay. Hi Scott, so nice to have you, welcome. So the topic today is who's in your room, and I'm going to be sharing with you once again, this is what we're going to go through. So who's in your room, your choices, and the quality of your life, and we're looking at relationships as mirrors, and also how to heal relationships. So, let's just jump into it. So who's in your room? This is a topic that I got introduced to, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. So I was a member of a networking organization here. It's called BNI, Business Network International. It's the world's largest referral marketing organization in the world. It's founded by Dr. Ivan Meisner, and that's my dog sniffing. So and I was part of that networking organization, but I also had an additional role of the network education coordinator, and basically I had this extra job of going through all of Dr. Ivan Meisner's podcasts and all the books he's written, and share those networking tips with the members of BNI. And my chapter was called BNI Inspire here in Bangkok. I believe there are BNI is all over the world, and it has chapters in every country, almost, lots of different chapters. So anyway, I got introduced to this concept there, who's in your room. So there's this guy called Stuart Emery, who's written a book called Who's in Your Room. And we were using this in BNI because, in this Scott, the author is talking about, so he gives an example. He says, imagine if you were to live in one room all your life. Okay, imagine if you were to live in one room all your life. Ooh, that's hard to imagine, but that's what he says. We imagine, and then it's a wonderful room, and you can decorate it the way you want to. Maybe there are windows, but there is only one door in that one room that you live in, and that door is a one-way door. So while people can come in through that door, no one leaves. which means that you have to stay with the people that come in through that door forever. They go with you wherever you are. They stay with you. They are there every day, everywhere with you in your life. So if you knew that that was the case, right, that you would live in one room and there was only one door and it was a one-way door, then who would you let in through that door? And he also asks you to imagine, like, what would your room look like if that was the case? Would it be an angry room? Would it be a very chaotic room? Would it be a room full of conflicts? Or would it be a happy room? Sorry about that. So what kind of room would it be, right? And the thing that he's trying to do is, share with us that the people that we let into our lives, the quality of our life is impacted by all the people who are in our lives, right? So what are the choices that you are making, and what kind of people are there in your life today? And we've heard the saying, many times that you are the average of the 5 closest people in your life. So, who are the closest people and who is in your room, right? So it's something we want to reflect on, like, who are the people that I most hang out with? And we all have had people in our lives, right, that have that are wonderful, that always uplift us, that bring us, happy, positive energy. They're supportive, and they're encouraging. And then there are all these other people who, who, for some people, drama is a big part of their lives. And no matter what's happening, they've got drama going on. They're still upset after so many years. They're still complaining. They're still, angry. They're still feeling like victims, right? We all know people like that who always have drama going on in their lives, or just people who are very negative, and they, like, you say something nice and they'll have like 10 things negative to say about it, or you wish, you voice your wishes and they'll dampen them by giving you like these doom scenarios. So we all know people like that. And so who are we letting in our room, in our space? Who's in our space? Who are we networking with? And who are we hanging out with? Because the quality of our lives is, depending on the people that we are hanging out with, right? So here, the quality of your life is a direct reflection of who's in your room, and how your life is going to be. Is it going to be filled with drama? Is it going to be filled with negativity? Or is it going to be filled with, positive, uplifting energy? And, we can't have ideal situations, but it's we have a choice. We have a choice to gravitate and move towards people who we can learn things from, who can inspire us. Usually people that are up, on a higher level than us, that can uplift us, and we can become more than, right, not less than. And so that's something that you may want to reflect on, who's in my room. Then there's this other aspect, so I've been on this journey for 11 years. I'm a pain relief expert, so I help people with physical pain and emotional pain as well. And a lot of people have pain in their relationships, whether it's a mother-daughter relationship, or a husband-wife relationship, or a parent, your parents, or your colleagues or your supervisor. And there are some relationships in our lives that we are stuck with. It's not like, okay, I'm not going to hang out with this person, right? I'm going to be less and less with that person. But there are some relationships in your life, like your family, right? Your kids will come back to this house. My kids will come back. My husband will be here, and I can't choose not to have a relationship. Or my parents, or my the colleagues that I work with. So there are certain relationships that you just have in your life. And so, we have to begin to notice, like, I was just looking at this and this popped up, that relationships are mirrors. And, if you said this to me like 11 years ago, I'd say, what rubbish. But our relationships are our mirrors, and especially those that we're stuck with, like it's your parent, or it's your husband, and it's your child, or it's your immediate boss, right? That we just have to be in the same room with. And these relationships are there for a reason, okay? And they are reflecting back to us about ourselves. I know it might be like out of the two-way out for you to or maybe you're already aware of this, but usually if you find that like there are relationships that are triggering you, like this person is always getting on my nerves, or this thing about my husband that I don't like, and he's always like this, and he's always like this, or if you find that there are key relationships and they're always triggering you in a consistently similar pattern, then it's easy to say that if you want to fix the problem, fix them. Just blame this on them, and I don't know how that works. Maybe that works for some people, but it's really not. There are underlying currents to that, right? And here's what I like to say is our relationship mirrors back to us areas we need to heal within ourselves. So let me give you an example. 11 years ago, I was in a lot of pain, and my relationships were at its worst, whether it was with my husband, and whether it was, I felt like I wasn't being loved enough, or I was feeling like a bad mother. I was always fighting with my kids who were only 4 and 5 years of age. My relationships at my work were, they weren't great, and I had this blame game going on. I felt like a victim of my circumstances, and all that. But the truth was that even though I felt like they weren't paying attention to me, they weren't loving me, and my kids were triggering me, actually it was all this pain that I had inside of me, where I was not feeling good enough because I was stuck at the wrong job, and I felt like my life didn't have any meaning or any purpose, and I wasn't feeling fulfilled, and I wasn't feeling satisfied, and I felt stuck. And so all this inner chaos in my life, and and it was creating this mess in my relationships outside, right? I had a client many years ago who was trying to attract the right guy, for her life, a life partner. And what she found was, over and over again, she would be stuck with the wrong guys who would not respect her, guys who would mistreat her, guys who, where she felt like, she wasn't getting enough as much as she was putting in, or people who were cheating on her, right? And it was easy to get pissed at them and blame them, and just she was wondering, why the heck am I attracting all the wrong men? This is not the kind of men that I want to attract into my life. But as we did the inner work, right, when you want to fix things out there, you have to take care of things that are in here. Okay, it's inside out. And so as we began working on her pain inside, she was not feeling loved and accepted. And she had in her childhood, she had seen parents who were divorced, and her dad was always cheating on her mom and all of that. And so there was this inner pain, inner hurt, and inner belief about what a committed relationship looks like. Our first relationship is with ourselves and our parents, and that is the model. And so there was this whole belief system that she subconsciously had about what a committed relationship looks like. And in her case, she always felt scared because her parents were fighting and her dad was cheating, and so she came into all her relationships with this baggage, right? This old baggage, and she hadn't healed that within herself, and her relationships kept reflecting back to her what she had got going on within herself. So you don't feel you're not respecting and loving you, and you find people who don't love and respect you. You find people who are always triggering you and saying mean things to you. It's you not loving you and saying mean things to you and judging you. So, our relationships, as I said, always mirror back to us what we need to heal within ourselves. So really, all our relationships are providing us with clues, right? It's like mirroring back to us. What's that song by Michael Jackson? I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Or Gandhi saying, be the change you want to see in the world. So it's really, it starts with you. So while we are looking at this whole concept of who's in your room, you can make conscious choices and say, okay, I want to hang out with this person more, but I don't want to hang out with this person. There are some choices that we can consciously make, but when we find ourselves stuck, there is no choice in certain relationships, and you're just there with these people, and you find that they're triggering you in different ways, then you are there and they are there with you for a reason. And those relationships are giving you clues about what you need to heal within yourself. And as you begin to release and clear out the feelings of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of love, and all those emotional wounds and fears and negative thoughts that you have in your relationship with yourself, once you begin to heal that, then the relationships in your life begin to shift as well. So instead of going out there when something is triggering you in a relationship, instead of going out there and fighting and creating a conflict, which is instinctual, we are just wired to protect ourselves and just go out there and defend ourselves and blame the other person. Well, you can still do that. But what if you could, instead of doing, or despite the fact that you did that, what if you could take a step back and get honest with yourself and see, like, what is this relationship trying to reflect back to me about me? So instead of going out there, what if you could go within and see what in me is getting triggered, and heal that wound, that pain, that fear, that worry, that doubt that you have. Hi Jacqueline, hi Sarah, hi Mayuri, hi Anita, Jyoti, hi Devin, hi Cypros, hi guys. So glad you are here, and Sarah is giving a thumbs up, which feels like you're relating to what I'm saying. And if you have, any tips on relationships, or how do you react to all those triggers, or what comes up for you as we are talking about this, please feel free to comment. So the discussion becomes even richer for everyone who's here. So that's what I want. And I've seen that in my own life too. There'll be times when I'll be telling my son, oh my God, you're so irresponsible. Why is your bag on the floor? And you're always forgetting to do this. And so I'm doing this blame thing with my son. And then because I know this process, right, I'll go back and I'll say, okay, so if relationships are mirrors, where am I being irresponsible in my life? And it's not like, oh, my son is throwing his bag on the floor and not putting his towel back in the right place, and he's being irresponsible that way, and that's what I'm doing too. That's not how it works. Okay? So the behavior of someone else and whatever you are accusing them of, where in your life are you doing something similar? So it doesn't mean that I'm throwing my towel on the floor or I'm not keeping my things tidily. It's basically, where in my life am I being irresponsible? I remember there was a time when I realized that, I wasn't putting the best food out there for my kids. I would just cook something in a hurry, and I wasn't really paying attention. And I had a lot of guilt about that I'm not paying attention to the food I'm putting for my kids. And so there was this feeling of not being responsible, right? And you see things in your life, in your relationships, where you're accusing someone, your loved one, your husband, your parent, your supervisor, whoever it is, of being this way. But you want to check in and say, where in my life am I being this way? In which area? It may not be the same area that you're seeing. It's not about cleanliness and tidiness in my case, where I'm blaming my son of being irresponsible, but which other area in my life am I feeling like I'm not being responsible? I hope you're resonating with this. I hope you're getting this. And so here's something I had written down. So if you want to fix things that are out there in your relationships, right, you have to take care of what's in here. And our relationships provide us with clues about what we need to heal in ourselves. And once we stop doing the blame game and fighting, and if you really want to fix the relationship, right, if it's really important for you and you are in these relationships for a lifetime, then you really do want to look inside, look inward, and shift what's going on inside of you, and then what's outside of you will start to shift as well. So I invite you, that if you find that you have some triggers in key relationships in your life, right? First of all, going back to who's in your room, what choices am I making? Am I hanging out with the right people? Am I consciously making an effort to steer away from negative kind of conversations with people who are generally negative, and choosing a more positive environments to hang out in? And also, if I'm in these key relationships and there are some issues that just keep triggering me and we keep fighting about this and this keeps coming up for me, then I invite you to take a look, take some time, some quiet time, some meditation time, some journaling time, and see, like, what are those thoughts? What are those negative thoughts, wounds, the old pain, fears, maybe old hurts that you need to heal within yourself? And then, the relationship that you have can begin to shift as well. So what if what if you took the time? I love this word, what if, because there's like so many possibilities out there, right? Like so many things can shift for us. So what if you took the time and you know, became aware of those triggers in your relationship? And what if you went within and did some of this healing and really becoming honest with yourself and paying attention to, where am I hurting? Where am I feeling like this in my life? And who knows, like how that step towards taking care of you and healing your relationship first with yourself, how that begins to change the relationships around you, and who shows up in your room and how they show up in your room. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I hope that at least made you think and got you thinking about the relationships in your life and what you can do to create more peace, more joy, and just improve the overall quality of your life. Because the people who are with you on this journey, right, they are as important as the journey and as the destination itself. So to have a more joyous and fun and harmonious ride on this river of life, getting poetic here, how are you going to change, and so that the outer experience is more fun and more peaceful. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you for being here, so many people. Thank you so much for joining me here. And if you joined me on replay, thank you so much for being here. Let me know where you were hanging out from. What were your thoughts? What came up for you? And I'll see you again next week on Thursday. I'm doing these Facebook Lives every Thursday, 11 o'clock Bangkok time. And so, do leave comments, and I'll see you next week with another topic and another new discussion. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you for all the hearts and all the likes. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.